is this grenade? So I'm gonna do another build video. Actually, it's a one build versus another build video. It's not so you can figure out how to make a build. It's the one. Wow, we have some loading issues here. Some builds to figure out, like, these are what I run. So I run a few builds that I like to run on a basis. So this one is my Hunter's Fury build. Now I have I have two builds that I run this on. One for the Dark Zone and one for roaming around the map. Okay, so let's start. Specialization is... Oh my gosh, what is the specialization? I forget. I always say flamethrower. Firewall. Firewall. My bad. Firewall. So let's try this again. I don't know why I'm facing that way. Okay, so the firewall specialization. I have 4 pieces of Hunter's Fury. I have the mask, the gloves, the knee pads, and the holster. Okay. And then I'm running the Memento backpack and the Badger Tough Zero F's chest piece. Okay. My weapons is a Scorpio shotgun with shotgun damage, damage to armor, critical hit damage, and septic shock. Shooting a target applies stack of venom, which lasts for 10 seconds. Increasing stacks adds more severe debuffs to the target. Poison, disorient, shock, takes additional 20% damage, etc. Then I'm running the Dark Winter as the SMG, just for backup, for whatever. SMG, critical hit chance, and rate of fire. And it has perfect killer on it. Killing an enemy with a critical hit grants plus 50% critical hit damage for 10 seconds. And I believe I have it modded. And then I'm running the TDR card, custom. Okay, so on the mask is Hunter's Fury. And I have 4 pieces. So 4 pieces gives you Apex Predator. Enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. Killing a debuffed enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Okay, so I have armor, and I have critical hit damage and critical hit damage. On the gloves, I have armor and critical hit damage. Sorry, I cannot talk for the life of me today. On the holster, I have armor and crit hit damage. On the knee pads, I have weapon damage and crit hit damage. Now, I don't have armor on here. I think it's because didn't have, I don't know, or I may change it. Okay, on the chest piece, on the backpack, I have the Memento backpack. I have weapon damage, armor, skill tier 1, and crit hit damage. And this is kills confirmed. You know, enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting trophies provide both a short and long-term buff, the first of which scales with the number of core attributes equipped and lasts 10 seconds. Now, my chest piece, I run Zero F's, which is Badger Tough, and it gives me 10% shotgun damage. I have armor, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and crit hit damage, and I run perfectly unbreakable. When your armor is depleted, repair 100% of your armor. Cooldown is 55 seconds. With this, I have the Striker Ballistic Shield, and that's what it looks like. And then the decoy. So I'm just gonna, this is my favorite build, by the way. And, I like running it. And if I run solo, I'm gonna drop the map to challenging by myself. And, in a group, I do it on heroic, no problems.
Inventory.
The other build that I have that's Hunter's Fury is the one I wear in the Dark Zone. And I have the Firewall specialization. I run a Vector with SMG damage, crit hit chance, and damage to target out of cover. And I run Sadist. Deal 20% weapon damage to bleeding enemies. After 4 kills, applies bleed to the next enemy you hit. And it's modded. I also run the Vector 45. SMG damage, critical hit chance, headshot damage. Also with Sadist, deal 20% weapon damage to bleeding enemies. And this is also modded. Same 4 pieces that I have for Hunter's Fury, the mask, gloves, knee pads, and holster. The only difference is my chest piece and my backpack are different. For the backpack, I'm running the Antarctica Cookbook, which is golden gear. It gives me 10% status effects. Armor, armor regen, critical hit damage with Perfectly Wicked. Applying a status effect increases total weapon damage by 18% for 27 seconds. And on my chest piece, I run the Ridgeway's Pride. It's like white rice. Weapon damage, critical hit chance, critical damage with Bleeding Edge. Shooting enemies within 15 milliliters applies bleed to the target. Repair 3 to 48% of your armor per second for every enemy that is bleeding within 15 meters. Repair strength per number of bleeding enemies. And I run the Striker Shield and the Decoy. I do not run the Hive. I don't like it. This is what works for me in the Dark Zone. So those are my Hunter Fury. Now I have one more Hunter Fury build, and this is an all red build. So I haven't quite figured out the chest piece and the backpack yet, but this is what I had in my stash, and it works for me right now until I can figure out what to put there. If you have suggestions on what I can put there, please put it in the comments. Okay, so I'm running this with the Survivalist specialization.
Inventory.
And my weapons are the Lady Death. I don't really care for the Lady Death, but I didn't know what other SMG to stick here besides my Dark Winter. So this is the Lady Death, the exotics, SMG damage, critical hit chance, and damage to armor with Breathe Free. When moving, gain 4 stacks per second, or 8 stacks if sprinting, up to 32 stacks total. Each round fired consumes a stack, amplifying damage by 75%. Kills grant plus 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. And then I just have the M87 Express Shotgun for up close and personal. It has shotgun damage, damage to armor, damage to target out of cover, and I run close and personal. Killing a target within 7 meters grants plus 30% weapon damage for 10 seconds. So 4 pieces, same 4 pieces, is the mask, the gloves, the knee pads, and the holster. And I had to farm to get new pieces to make them all red. So I have weapon damage, crit hit damage, and crit hit damage on the mask. On the gloves, I have weapon damage and crit hit damage. The holster, I have weapon damage and crit hit damage. And on the knee pads, I have weapon damage and crit hit damage. Now, not everything is God rolled on here. So I'm just going to run it as it is. Now for my backpack, I think I have these two mixed up, but I'm not positive. So I have a Providence Defense backpack. This is what I had in my stash, so I went with it. It's all red. Weapon damage, and it gives me 15% headshot damage. And then I have crit hit damage, crit hit chance, and crit hit damage, and I'm running Vigilance. Increases total weapon damage by 25%. Taking damage disables this buff for 4 seconds. Now I can change that. And then my chest piece, which was also in my stash, and it's all red. So I'm running the Sokolov Concern, and it gives me 10% SMG damage. So I'm running the Lady Death, which is an SMG. I have weapon damage, crit hit damage, weapon handling, and crit hit damage. And I have Obliterate on here. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, stacks up to 25 times. And the Striker Shield. Oh no, the Crusader Shield, my apologies. And that's what I'm running. And apparently I'm missing some mods. And then you can run what other skill you want here. Now, I tried the Mender Seeker Mine. I didn't like it. It just leaves a pool on the floor. So now I'm running with the Fixer Drone. So it'll help me like keep my health up, especially when I go down. Maybe. But do not run with the Reviver Hive though. I mean, I could equip a decoy, but I'm trying to stay alive. As you see, my armor is like less. It's like 768,000. Not very much armor. It's all red build. So we're going to go and run this on both of these. And I'm going to change my map. Now, if I had somebody going with me to play with, to test this, I would do a heroic. But I don't. So y'all do you, and I'll do me. This is how I run it. And I don't know if you know this or not. If you come across this yellow line, when you change, you don't have a loading screen. Just to let you know. Okay, so I'm going to go do some stuff and record some gameplay. And I'll be back. Thanks. Bye. Hi, it's Grenade again. So, after I showed you my builds that I run, I'm running Lincoln Memorial mission. I really like this mission. It's really easy. It's super fast. It's the one I know by the back of my hand. So I'm using the Lady Death. This is my red Hunter's Fury build that I put together. I don't really care for it. There's some pros and cons with this build. One of them, I'm running the Lady Death, which it takes almost a full clip to kill an enemy, and I don't like that. And you'll see why soon. I also am using the shield. I hate the shield. I really do. It's not my thing. That's one reason why I stopped running with the Lady Death. And I normally would run Intimidate on the chest piece, but I didn't have that one no more, so. And I don't know, somebody said this is like an assassin build. No. I'd be dead if I was an assassin running this build. Some of the other things I don't like is I don't have any armor regen. Yes, my Fixer Drone is kind of keeping me up, but it's not ideal for my playstyle. I'm checking my my shield because apparently I'm missing some mods. Who knows what happened? Why they're not there no more. I mean, it moves fast because you have Breathe Free on the talent on your Lady Death, but it is not an ideal weapon to use, especially if you want to get in people's faces. I don't like it. But I thought I'd try it. And it's an all-red build, so damage. We're looking for damage. No armor. I'm super squishy in this build. Some things I do like about it, it's my Hunter's Fury. But it is not, I'm really super squishy, and that part I don't like. The other part is I don't know when to gauge when my armor goes for me to stop and take an armor, a med kit. And here's how we find out. I should stop and take an armor kit, but I don't. So we rinse and repeat again. And this time I do things a little differently. Usually when you die, you have to figure out what went wrong and repeat it and figure out how you could do it better. And that's what I'm doing with this build. The red, all Hunter's Fury red build. And it might be my backpack's talent that I have on wrong or something. I don't know. So I use the fire. I just keep shooting. And if you hit the True Sun's backpacks, the ones with the duffel bags, it muds them instead of you. Now, the one thing I do not do first, and I have done this a couple times, is I do not go after a yellow first with this build. Either my other Hunter's Fury build or this one. I try to go a red and then a purple so I can get my trophies on the other build. So there are some differences between my Hunter's Fury with 0 Fs with perfectly unbreakable and the memento, and this one I'm running none of that except the Hunter's Fury. And I believe I use more ammo on this weapon than I do my Scorpio. I could be wrong, but see, they all got mudded instead of me. I'm looking for my trophies, which there are none. This time I got smart and did an armor kit. That's one. I started with 4. Now there's nothing wrong with taking an armor kit, but you only got 4. And here we go again. That's 2. And what I haven't quite figured out is do I stay in cover and shoot, or do I run and gun? Because this is really hard to figure out. Yeah, I'm moving super fast, but no, she's a yellow. 3 armor kits. And my playstyle is to be out front. That I do know. Plus I have no decoy. And I'm not picking up any of my loot, I believe. So I want to know, have you ran a Hunter's Fury build? And what were your issues that you had with your Hunter's Fury build? Oh, she's a yellow. When I originally put my first Hunter's Fury build together, I ran with the Lady Death. But I had Intimidate on my chest piece, and I ran the Memento backpack. And I didn't like it then. And I liked the build, but I didn't like the weapon I chose. The Lady Death. The Lady Death was not, it was not fast enough for me. It's not quick enough. I could be dead on the ground before I shoot anything.
Chemical weapons and eliminated the stronghold near the campus. You should be proud. You saved a lot of lives today.
Hi guys, it's Grin. Okay, so this is my other Hunter's Fury build. This is the one that I run. I believe I have 1.8 million armor on it. And, yep, 1.8 million armor. This is the one I run with the Memento backpack and the Zero Fs with Perfectly Unbreakable. As you can see, I do not use a shield. I do have my decoy. I think this is more like Assassins in the Face. Whoops, I'm shooting air. More Assassins. It puts them, it helps it. The Scorpio like shocks them. Going, oh, what's going on? Yeah, I have to reload it, but it stops them. It keeps them disoriented and stuff like that. So, and I get to pick up my trophies. So all those little blue ticks on my armor, that's from the Memento backpack. It picks it up. I mean, it'll eventually go away. But one good thing is you do not have to pick them up right away. You can pick them up when you need them. So you don't have to always just go get them. You can pick them up all at the end. I've done that where I've had blue armor all the way down. And I seem to be moving faster in this build. I dropped my decoy. I mean, I could have tossed it or whatnot. So I like the Memento backpack. I like picking up my trophies. I like having armor. And it really comes down to, do you want survivability or you want the damage? I could do some damage. I may not get a lot of kills when I'm in a group, but I can put some damage out. It's kind of like, crowd control. So, I skipped a few parts here. Didn't need to see because you already seen some of it. So, I think we all know what my favorite build is. It's not the red build. It's survivability. I'm less likely to go down in this build than I am my other red Hunter's Fury build. But so you can see, if you want to make a Hunter's Fury all red, you can do that. You may need, like, Obliterate on the chest piece is really good, but I may, the backpack is what I was worried about. But that one is not my thing. I don't survive as long as I've been surviving here. She was a yellow. And I don't go for yellows right off the bat in this one either. I try to go red and then purple so I can get that armor picked up. And also with a memento backpack, you have to get a kill in order to get a trophy to drop. Sometimes they drop, sometimes they don't. But if you're in a group and you got a memento backpack and if somebody else gets your kill, you don't get any armor. So now I lost my shield due to the Chunkin. But when you play solo, you're gonna get your trophy. I call them little elbows. So can you tell which one is the build that I like to run? So I ran this whole mission, and not once did I go down. Not once did I use an armor kit. Plus, when I know this mission too, frontwards and backwards, and where they spawn and where they don't spawn, and where they're going to come out of and stuff. And it doesn't really change between challenging and heroic. It's still the same spot. But enjoy the rest of the video, and thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye.
Position inside the memorial. And eliminated the stronghold near the campus. You should be proud. You saved a lot of lives today.